24 October, International Day of United Nations. The International Day of the United Nations is being celebrated today across the world, including Pakistan. The theme of this year's day is to take faster and bolder actions to combat the effects of climate change and aims to mobilize world leaders ahead of this year's COP28 Climate Change Conference in Dubai. The United Nations was established on October 24, 1945, after the end of World War II. Before this, the world has seen the failure of this kind of international organization, League of Nations. The name United Nations was proposed by the former US President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The Charter of the United Nations was finalized in April 1945 in the city of San Francisco on the west coast of the United States. The United Nations organization was practically established with its headquarters established in New York. Currently, the number of member countries of the United Nations is 193. Its Secretary General is Mr. Antonio Guterres, and the President of the General Assembly is Dennis Francis. 17 years ago, the United Nations Charter established three basic pillars of the United Nations system. Number one, maintaining international peace and security. Number two, human rights. Number three, to bring about collective and social development, and to achieve all these objectives is to prevent conflicts between countries. In addition, taking measures to limit conflicts when they arise and helping parties to a conflict to improve the situation by using their peace influence in conflict countries to establish and maintain peace. Steps have to be taken to provide. It is written in the preamble of its charter that we, the member states of the United Nations, are determined to save future generations from the scourge of war. Number two, we believe in the fundamental rights of human beings and respect and value human values. Number three, the rights of men and women will be equal, and the rights of small and big nations will be equal. Number four, create conditions to fulfill obligations is imposed by covenants and international constitutions. In a broad atmosphere of freedom, the speed of collective development increases and the standard of living increase. According to Article 1 of the United Nations, the objectives of the United Nations are: number one, to establish international peace and security through joint efforts. Number two, to promote friendly relations among nations. Number three, to create international cooperation in solving problems related to international economic, social, cultural, and human development, to create respect in the hearts of people for human rights and fundamental freedoms. To create a center through which nations and coordinate achieve these common goals. Therefore, adopt tolerance to achieve these goals, live a peaceful life with Hemisis, unite your strength for the sake of international peace and security, and accept the principles and traditions. Ensure that force is never used except in the common interest, that all nations use international instruments for economic and collective development. Sustainable Development Goals in Pakistan. Pakistan expressed its commitment to the Sustainable Development Agenda 2030 by including the Sustainable Development Goals in its National Development Agenda in 2016 through a unanimous resolution of the National Assembly. The country then incorporated these goals into its national policies and strategies and made significant progress by developing an institutional framework for the implementation of Sustainable Development Goals in Pakistan. Sustainable Development Goals support units have been established with federal and provincial planning agencies, the Ministry of Planning and Development, and special initiatives and provincial development agencies to monitor the implementation and progress of the SDGs in Pakistan. The government approved a national SDGs action plan in 2018 that provides a national vision for prioritizing and making the SDGs effective. Establishing peace in the world has also been Pakistan's first priority. Pakistan is the sixth largest country to participate in the United Nations peacekeeping missions through its armed forces. 61 years have passed since Pakistan contributed to the peace efforts of the United Nations. While Pakistan's peacekeeping forces are renowned worldwide for their professionalism and peacekeeping skills, they also play an effective role in improving the welfare of the local people and improving their daily lives, which is truly commendable, immortal. The United Nations is committed to continuing to support to the government of Pakistan so that country can meet its development needs and implement global commitments to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. The United Nations also helps Pakistan during natural calamities and crises. According to the principles of the United Nations, the efforts of the United Nations in Pakistan are based on a human rights-based approach, and at the same time, all the initiatives of the United Nations also focus on gender equality, inclusion, capacity building, and environmental sustainability. The United Nations also launched a campaign at the end of 2020 to renew its focus and commitment to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Friends, in the opinion of various analysts, although the United Nations has been able to achieve great success in many fields, it has also been failed in many fields such as the Kashmir issue, the Palestine-Israel conflict, the violation of human rights in several countries, etc. Friends, today, on the occasion of the 78th anniversary of the establishment of the United Nations, I have this message for the United Nations and the members of the United Nations for lasting peace, love, human improvement, well-being, prosperity and development, justice and equality in the world. Its foundation was laid on greater goals. All these goals should be fulfilled by keeping all interest above all kinds of preferences, so that there is a real peace and brotherhood in the world, with honor and dignity. Everyone has to right to live. May love and prosperity be established everywhere, and the world become a model of heaven. Friends, take care of yourselves, your families, friends, and those all around you. Remember me in your prayers. Goodbye and love you all.